Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to the Paseta YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for clicking the subscribe button. Thank you so much for hitting the bell icon. Thank you so much for leaving your thoughts on the comment section. Hey guys, we've got a beautiful video today, and I hope that you will be able to discern the spirit of which I am delivering this video with. Let me, before I start, because I am on holy grounds, this is the Paseta YouTube channel, Paseta School YouTube channel. Thank the leaders that are before me. Leader Mamoni, who's leading the media team and leading a lot of people underneath her, and also the team that have been giving you uploads like nobody's business. Sister Sue, who has been doing a fantastic job, Abuti Rabi, Sister President Dina, and I'd like to thank each and everyone who is in the marketing team, also doing a great job there. I cannot name all of them, but I really appreciate the work that they are putting in for Paseta. My name is Kagiso Hlungwani, is in Sono, and today I'm delivering a lecture about African history because we are celebrating what we call Shaka Day, which many people call it the Heritage Day. And I want to ask you today that you open your spirit to the words that are going to be flowing out of my mouth, and have a discernment spirit as to what I'm going to say, because it's very important that you don't miss the tone of the message, that you don't miss the secret behind the words that I will be speaking. I also don't want you to miss the mission that we will be having as Paseta School to try and combat what I call a pure genocide on the African history. I'm going to take you through a few countries where I'm going to give you an example why heritage is important to us at Paseta, and why it will be history studies will be one of our cornerstones, one of our pillars where we want to teach our African children the proper history. But not only that, in Paseta, we don't only believe in teaching history, but we believe in also formulating strategies of, one, recreating history where necessary, two, making sure that the future reflects the history, because we say a child of Paseta who does not know where they come from is a child of Paseta with no direction. And you can replace Paseta with Africa, it will always flow nicely. Now, in Paseta, we believe that majority of Africans limit or want to contain some big historical events into one specific day, like Heritage Month, Heritage Day, Day of Reconciliation, and all of these public holidays, Africa Day, all of these holidays that in Paseta we celebrate them, but we are celebrating them with an eye that says we are going to change how Africans see themselves forever. And before we can tell African children how to see themselves, we have to then remind African children of who they are. Over 100 years, allow me, please, if you are doing anything, stop doing whatever you are doing. This video is not going to be that long. I really want to touch something in your spirit. I really want to provoke a certain thought in you. I want to plant a seed in you, and I want you to get out of this video, get something that you have never got before. Allow me to take you to Namibia, where the Herero people and the Nama people were killed in scores by the Germans. Now, in Africa, we have heard this thing of those people were killed 100 years ago. These people were killed, but we don't understand what that means for our heritage. If you go to Namibia, right there next to the desert, not to the desert, to the sea, you can see the graves of our ancestors, the Herero people and the Nama people, killed in scores between 1904 and 1908. Culture lost. Because in Africa, we believe that when an elder falls, a library is lost. You can imagine how much knowledge was lost. Our people killed senseless by the Germans that were heartless and that wanted greed to own our country. Remember, even up to today, the Germans still own a huge percentage of the land in Namibia, our beautiful country. They gave them a reparation, a disrespectful 1.1 billion that they wanted to give them reparations, and the Namibian people must and said never. 1.1 billion is next to nothing compared to what you have stolen from us. And today I want to speak about that. Now think about it. Put yourself in those people's shoes. A whole culture, a whole tradition almost wiped out of the face of the earth because the colonizers had superior weapons and would stop at nothing to get what they want, the minerals of our countries and the beautiful land that we have here in Africa. I'm telling you, till today is still the same situation in Namibia. The Namibian people, just below 3 million, they still suffer the consequences of their ancestors being buried in shallow graves, and they still are suffering till today. Culture is lost. Many Namibian children don't know their heritage. They stuck when it comes to the knowledge of language, the development of language, the advancement of advanced language speaking. They don't know. I mean, knowing the deep organic language, where your language started and how it was originally spoken. Our language is slowly being diluted with the Western languages here. As you see today, we are giving a lecture with the British language, the European language. It is a disgrace. But in Paseta, we are going to change that. In Paseta, we believe that one Africa, one language, and that language must be Kiswahili. We must learn how to speak Kiswahili. Taura, Kiswahili, Kidogo. All of us must learn how to speak Kiswahili little by little. That is what is important. Let me take you also to the Battle of the Blood River in 1833 in South Africa. This was, of course, the fight between the blood-hungry Dutch Afrikaner people that were fighting and clashing heads with the Zulu people. A score of numbers of Zulu warriors were killed. Again, fathers lost, uncles lost, generations lost, sons perished at the hands of the gun and the powder of the cowards that wanted to steal our land. Imagine the knowledge that that father had, and that father is no more. Imagine as a mother seeing your husband for the last time as he goes for war and he never comes back. When you celebrate Heritage Day, understand what exactly is it that you are trying to do. I want to take you to the Great Wall of Benin. The Great Wall of Benin that stretched over 16,000 kilometers. Do you know what is 16,000 kilometers, African child? Do you understand? Can you comprehend how long 16,000 kilometers is? In any African country, you probably would cross 3 African countries or 4 to reach 16,000 kilometers. The Great Wall of Benin was destroyed because we had a king, Obo Ovoromye. Excuse me for butchering his name. May his soul continue to rest in eternal peace. In the 1897, where he stopped the European colonizers from entering the Great Wall, and they went away and they came back against King Oba, and they said to him, "It's either you open these doors or we break down this wall." Of course, they broke down the wall. They shot down men, women, and children, forcing the king to take some of his servants and flee to to the jungle, to flee away from the wrath of the hungry colonizers that would stop at nothing but to destroy the African people. Now, if you understand what I'm trying to say, is that artifacts was lost. Behind that Great Wall was technology. Building a wall bigger than the Great Wall of China is not a joke. It's not a joke. A lot of culture was lost. A lot of heritage was lost. A lot of families were broken because of what those people did to the Great Wall, the Benin Kingdom rather. I'm not stopping there. The African people discovered America first. This is a well-known fact. It is an undisputed fact in history. It's just that they don't teach it in schools. King Abubakari was sending over 200 ships into the sea to explore the world, mapping the world. Hey, guys, do you know what is 200 ships? Can you imagine in your mind how 10 ships would look at the seashore, at the bank of the seashore? Can you imagine how 50 ships would look? How 200 ships would look traveling the world? The understanding of advanced African technology in building those ships, number one. Understanding how to navigate yourself, number two. They discovered America before that coward what's his name, Leo, discovered it. So Africa has lost a lot. If I take your mind to the transatlantic slave trade, my heart gets broken. Gets broken. We're talking about Senegal. We're talking about Angola. We're talking about Benin. We're talking about Nigeria. We're talking about Cameroon. These are the countries that were affected by the transatlantic slave trade, because America needed more slave workers. There is a story I love telling about the great slaves, and I see that the movie Wakanda also copied that line, where they said there are some slaves, after they were pulled away from their families at the Cape Coast Castle. The Cape Coast Castle was where they were taking them, where they were boarding the ships. So the Cape Coast Castle was the last scene they will see of their country. And they would be looking at their wives, their children, because most of the time they will take few women, a lot of men. Some men, some grandfathers, some fathers, some sons will be looking back at their families and listening to the cry of their children, listening to the screams of their wives, knowing that they are leaving their wives with murderers, with rapists. Some slaves could not take it. With chains on their neck, chains on their hands, behind their back, chains, shackles on their feet, because of the trauma that they suffered boarding those ships. Some slaves chose to take their lives. How did they take their lives? They jumped off the ships into the sea. Yes, they jumped. That's why the Portuguese started creating a system where they will lock them in such a way that they cannot even jump off. But the first few jumped off and drowned. They said, I would rather die than give these people a satisfaction of treating me like a slave. Once you stripped a man from his pride, you have taken everything from him. Now, the heritage was lost. The culture was lost. The tradition was lost. How do you gain that back? Let me, before this video becomes too long, talk about Leopold II. I refuse to call him king because he's not king to us as African people. Leopold is a German murderer, Belgium murderer, who murdered more than 10 million Africans, recorded more than Hitler, more than anyone. He murdered a score amount of people, owning almost half the country land, taking everything to himself. And when they started creating rubber, he started making our African ancestors work like slaves, paying them with knives, paying them with cloths, paying them with day off. Say, I'm paying you because I'm giving you a day off because I'm paying you. Tomorrow you come, you work again. Cutting off their wrists. You guys have seen the pictures. Heartbreaking pictures. Now, now in Paseta, we are a generation that want to combat the Berlin Conference that happened in 1884 November to 1885 in February. In Paseta, we believe that Africa needs to have an equivalent conference that can undo what the Berlin Conference did to Africa, where France, Italy, Portugal, you name it, Germany, the British, the Americans, sitting there and cutting Africa into 54 pieces. Now, when you go and celebrate Heritage Day, understand it's not a one-day event. It was never a one-day event. They took our heritage through blood. They buried us in shallow graves. They whipped our ancestors till they could not take it anymore. They took us with ships. They stole our spirituality. They stole our culture. They replaced it with their limited amount of thinking. They forced it into our schooling system. They made sure that they teach us their ways. They made sure that in 2025, when a Paseta advocate speaks to the African child, that he should speak in an European language. Now in Paseta, we have planted a seed. And we are hoping that this generation can safeguard that seed up to a point where that seed grows. And this generation can write a message to the next generation and say, we have built up until this far. Grow this tree, nourish this tree, and make sure that we bring a stop to celebrating heritage in a month, celebrating heritage in a day. Heritage is a way of life. Our heritage is not only clothes. Our heritage is our food. Our heritage is our language. Our heritage is a way of life. We cannot, as African people, allow each and every year that we just come together and sing Kumbaya and say everything is okay and wear our African clothes just once a year and think that that is being proud of being our culture. It's better than nothing, yes, but it's close to nothing when you compare it to what our colonizers did to us. So here's my final thought when it comes to Heritage Day. And this is what we believe in Paseta. If we don't do anything in our generation, nothing will change in the next generation. In Paseta, we believe that we need to get our children in groups and make sure that we indoctrinate them with African knowledge so that they can spread it out. What do I mean? We must build schools that are Afrosonic and that are patriotic to the African cultures. How are we going to build this school is coming together and donating a small amount of money. Some of us don't have money, so we donate our skill. Some of us are graphic designers, some of us are technicians, some of us are engineers, some of us are good in marketing, some of us are good in whatever. Get in touch with the Paseta team. You who's watching this video, get in touch in the Paseta team. We want to build Paseta in every country in South Africa. We do have a footprint, be it a light one in Liberia, be it a light one in Uganda. We have a team in Angola. We have a team in Namibia. We have a small team in South Africa. We have a small team in Lesotho. This is just but the beginning. And we want to invite you to come and form part of this team. Come and enjoy building Paseta with us. It is a dream of a generation. It's a generational call. You cannot live a selfish life where you are living in town, where you are sorted with your cars, you don't care about your neighbors, you don't care about your neighborhood. The next thing, your children lose their language, because the more richer African people want to be, the more they want to be white. Think about it. The more richer we get, the further we divide ourselves from our true heritage and the little heritage that is left. So think about it. Think about it. Send a donation of 50 Rand to the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Make sure that you play your part. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share these videos so that people can know what is going on. Don't be stuck in the matrix. Come to Paseta. Let us liberate your mind. Let us save the next generation. Thank you so much for joining me today. And really, I appreciated you that you gave my time. If you watched this video up until this far, make sure that you tell somebody that so much was taken from us. That is why Paseta will never take a position of fighting another African child. Africa, we are one. One Africa, one language, one currency, one president, one army, and one everything. Because Africans are hated everywhere. There isn't a continent where you can go and Africans are loved and cherished, even in Africa. So it starts with us. Until we meet again, please don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child, build the Paseta, and allow God to do the rest. I hold a Paseta. Peace in Pan Africanism. I salute you.